So this is a fairly new bike. It's a 2023 KTM 150 XCW, I believe. I could be wrong on that. 2-stroke, fuel injected motocross bike. Kind of interesting. A couple things. Note, it has a throttle body on here, of course. The injector's over on the side of the engine there. The throttle body, this is what you control, of course, with your cables. TPS sensor, a so-called choke. It's not really a choke. And then you have the, I don't know what you call it, like an IAC valve. So this is your air bypass, IAT, I don't know what they call it. They have all these acronyms. It's so silly, as if it's not confusing enough. But anyways, this came to me in pieces. So 2023 KTM 150 XCW, I believe. Man, it's a pretty new bike to be having problems with it. I wonder if somebody's fooled around with it. I'm not too sure. He took it to a dealership. They pulled the throttle body off. It was just hanging when I got it. There was a box of parts. Mechanic's favorite, of course. The guy said it wouldn't idle. And it wouldn't stay idling. And the last shop said that the fuel injectors were spraying too much, but they didn't have any definitive proof on that. There was just an educated guess, and they said the parts would be on back order forever, and I think it was just a way to get them out of the shop. Maybe it's kind of sad, really, but 2023 model. It's such a new bike, and it runs perfect, but it just wouldn't idle. And they said the injectors are totally screwed. 2023. It's got, I don't know, like 53 hours or something. I mean, it's not much. Some guy just bought it. They weren't racing with it. It's just some guy in an acreage sort of thing. And so I'm going to figure out what's wrong with it. It will not idle. It idles, and then it sort of peters out. So we're going to take the throttle body off. We're going to take the tank off. And these have little fuel pumps in them. They got a battery in them. They got an electric start. That's what it's doing. It'll idle with this thing. And then as soon as you turn it off, that's it. So that's what it's doing. Gonna get this thing idling. The first thing I'm gonna do though is I'm gonna pull off this expansion exhaust pipe on the front. And it's just a couple springs and a couple mounting points, and then you pull it off. And I'm going to have a look at the piston up there, and I'm going to see what kind of scoring and wears on this thing, because you never get a true story. Used bikes, it could have been raced. I have no idea. He doesn't either. You know, people like to weave a tale, and when you're buying used bikes, sometimes it's a bit of a minefield for sure. I think I can do better and get it to idle properly. Leaking fork seal, of course, that's pretty typical. Upside down forks. It's a double lip seal on these forks, and they actually, you run a feeler gauge, really thin feeler gauge around it. Be careful not to cut the seal, of course, and have some limited success with that, because the dirt gets trapped in there and it holds the seal open. So, but the problem is you've already lost an unknown quantity of oil, so there's that. So to do it right, really, I mean, these forks, you got to pull them apart and just replenish them with the proper amount of oil, drain everything, pull it apart, new seals. And they're really susceptible to leaking. The best thing to do is you get those socks. You put socks over top, not your sweat socks, or maybe even sweat socks might work. I'm not sure. There's little nylon socks you can buy. I got a set here. I don't know if you can see that. It's just like, I don't know who makes these, actually. I'm really sorry about that. But they're socks, and you cut them with the scissors to the appropriate length, and then you zip tie them at the top, and then as they slide up and down, they actually clean the fork, and then you clean them once in a while, of course, and get all the nutrients out of there. So this has a bit of a weird plug on it in it. NGK spark plug, iridium, of course, fine tipped, to cut through all the oil and whatnot that loads up on the plug, especially on these high-strung 2-stroke dirt bikes. If you're just trail riding and putting along, they tend to load up, and they got a really fine tip on them. See that? A really fine tip on it. And the number on this is a strange one. It's GR8DI12. All these numbers mean something. All these letters. See, once you learn what the letters mean, then you can understand what they are. Like the G, R is the resistor, 8 is the heat range, 12 is a special plug. You can see, so when you go on the NGK site, as you can see, all these letters mean something. Like B is the thread size, P is a projected tip, 6 is the heat range, E stands for 19 3/4 inch reach, or 19.0 millimeter. S firing instruction -11 is half a heat range, I believe. Is it? No, it's 1.1. The gap, that references to the gap. So anyways, all these numbers mean something, and so you can look it up, NGK's website, and figure out what plug you can cross-reference to. And should I gap my plug? Yeah, you should gap it, because you know, in shipping sometimes the gap goes off, they get nicked, hit, whatever, damaged packaging, especially pay attention to that. So gapping is important for sure. And then they got all kinds of other racing plugs. They're specified by the manufacturer. They make them to spec for the manufacturer for specific purposes, but you can cross-reference these. And I'm not going to go out on a limb and tell you what you should put in your engine, because if the projection is too tall, it'll poke a hole in your piston. So you don't want to be doing that. Anyways, has all the specs. There's your thread pitch, diameter, reach, 19 mil. There we go, 19 mil. Should measure that. There's the throttle body. That's the gap in there, 3.92 millimeters. This gap here, I've measured it. And I think what's going on with this is this little set screw is predetermined. So I got to get that thing out of there. So anyways, I'm going to get that out. I wonder if that's Loctited. I bet you it is. Anyways, I'm going to attack this. And this, somebody's been playing with this. It's an IAT, air. I don't know what it stands for, but it's an air bypass valve right there. Most throttle bodies have this. Cars, trucks, whatever, you name it. This is a enrichener of sorts, this little knob. So when you pull that, it runs better, of course. There was no slop in the throttle cable. So somebody's been playing with this thing. Like, see, now there's slop. And I loosened off the screws up here on the throttle. So that's deal with that. So now there's slop in it. You need slop in it, man. It needs to return. These cables get all gummed up with mud and whatnot. You need a good amount of slop in there. About 1/8 of an inch. Free play up in your throttle, generally, on most motorcycles, actually. So this is fun. Turns out this is plastic. You can't really take a torch to it. And there is, I'm pretty sure there's Loctite in this thing. And it's got this dinky little Phillips screw down there, number, I don't know, 4 or something like that. I'm not sure. Anyways, and so you can't beat this thing up. Plus I think there's seals in the shaft here. My good advice: don't just take a torch to this. I'm gonna run a solder iron down inside this thing, and put it on the screw and get it out that way. Yeah, so I just fashioned up a bolt, put a couple springs on there, found the bolt with the right thread pitch, measured it back to 3.92 millimeter, and I'm going to try that. Install this throttle body back in with a manual idle adjust screw. That thing was kind of a bear to get out. It's this little screw here. Look at that. Look how small that is. And if you strip it, oh my god, like way in the bore right down here. That's where it used to sit, just like that. And it was Loctited in. So anyways, I'm gonna try this new and improved, so we can adjust it, right? try to adjust this thing and get it titled correctly. I suspect this might do it. I'm going to replace these little screws with Phillips head type screws like that on the throttle body, so you can actually get them off, because everybody has Phillips screws, but not everybody has these stupid, they put these safety kind of screws on. They do it on TPS sensors too. So those goofy screws are like Torx. They're kind of awkward to get a good purchase on the head of that thing. So anyways, Phillips screws going back in. I found a couple in the bolt box. But yeah, I just noticed it ran really good and there was no idle adjust. So put a bolt in there, and yeah, I think that'll be just fine. And you can reach around in the back here. I'll show you. Kind of hard to see, but back here, and then you can just twist it. And I put some springs on there, and it's just a regular bolt actually, but it clears the crankcase, so that'll be just perfect actually. Yeah, put some springs on there, and the reason you put springs on there is so it doesn't back out. Well, that sounds pretty good. I think I'll leave it for tonight, and then run it through a couple full heat cycles tomorrow. And but it sounds good. It's idling on the bench now, and I played around with the air. I don't know exactly where it's supposed to be. This particular one had the air bypass. I set it at 2.5, 2.5. Anyways, 2.5 turns out. And the idle screw, I don't know. I just kept doing it until it sounded good. And then what I'm going to do is tomorrow I'll take it out on a good rip and then see what it does, because it's hard to say on the bench. And it's late at night, so, and yeah, runs good. Start her up again. Yeah, I don't know why they do these goofy things to the bikes. It's never ending, it seems, with these bikes, especially these newer ones. They're always fiddling with things, and like sometimes it's because of emissions, but this is a competition machine, so I don't know why it just doesn't come perfect out of the box. It's kind of a weird thing, but nice bikes when they run well, and lots of finesse. I love the KTMs, but I'd never owned one. So, make of that what you will, for sure. So have found that useful. It's kind of interesting. I get all these bikes in, and I sort them out and figure stuff out, and yeah, do the best I can with what I got. And it's another one out the door. So have a good night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are. Thanks for watching. Cheers. Bye.